Dan, I think you should edit in a laugh track for this recording. Woo! Just layer that.
And then just
But preferably, regardless of whether we've said anything remotely funny
yeah,
or
no,
not.
just at random times.
Yeah.
Close your eyes and just drop it in.
The Big Bang Theory of podcasts.
The Mr.
See, that's an actual laugh to edit.
Are you just glad you're not the only one?
Good. That was really good. Fuck, this might be a good episode. Let's go.
Right. Hello and welcome to Hey, I Loved That Movie, the podcast where we rewatch the films we loved when we were younger to see if they still hold up. I'm Dan.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Helena.
And for this episode, we watched Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean. So I want to preface this by just saying, I know this isn't a movie, but if I chose a Christmas movie, it would have been Muppets Christmas Carol, and then it would have just been like half an hour of us saying how fucking good Muppets Christmas Carol
Wait,
is.
I don't like that film.
No, I can't stand it.
What the fuck? No.
But I also want to...
Do we need to pause?
How do you not like Muppets Christmas Carol? We're doing that.
And not very funny.
We'll do that next year.
Okay.
No, we're not.
No, I don't want to watch it. I had to watch it once, and I think I had to watch it very hungover, and I didn't like it.
But to begin with, I want to preface your preface with, don't worry, the problem with this isn't that it's not a film. The problem is that it's fucking awful.
I don't know. Anyway, Dan, why is this such a big deal to you?
I just have a lot of nostalgia for Mr. Bean. So pretty much every Friday, I used to stay at my grandparents' house. And in the bedroom that I stayed in, there was a small TV with a built-in VHS player. There were some Mr. Bean episodes on VHS, and I would watch them like pretty much every time I was there. More specifically, the episode where he goes to the swimming pool, which I think is a great episode.
Well, there's only like 6 episodes.
Yeah, there's not that many.
I used to watch a lot of Mr. Bean just when I think streaming started. Not streaming, but like, you know, YouTube maybe.
Yeah.
But it was definitely available somewhere, but dubbed in German.
Oh,
Which obviously doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter very much because there's approximately 2 lines of dialogue in this, and you can pretty much get it from context what he's saying.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so like I have no idea how many times I've seen this. I'd pretty much watch it every Christmas, I reckon.
So did you have Mr. Bean Christmas, Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean on video?
Yeah, that one must have been on VHS as well. It's not one that I watched on repeat, but I definitely watch it like at Christmas.
I feel like ripping into this thing that you like is slightly worse because it's a Christmas tradition. But honestly, I don't care.
It's a bad Christmas tradition. I mean,
it's not my main Christmas tradition. I just like watching it. Mainly, to be honest, if I don't watch the whole thing, I'll just watch my favourite clip, which is
the music scene.
It's the scene where he's doing the nativity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely my favourite bit. Because it starts with him driving up and he parks right outside whatever massive shopping mall he's in. The first thing he does is he gets a Christmas baubles and he tests them by throwing them on the floor to see if they bounce. And I'm like, yep, one smashes. Very fun. I can tell by your reactions that you just don't give a shit.
I'm very much in the middle between this has lots of nostalgia and I'm going to forgive it everything.
Yeah.
And outright hatred. Like, there's bits of this that I enjoyed way more than I thought I would. And I do like Mr. Bean and I do like Rowan Atkinson. Like, I prefer him in his characters where he speaks.
Yeah, where he's not just going, ta-do.
I definitely prefer the Johnny English Rowan Atkinson.
Yeah.
But I did really... And Blackadder, yeah. I think that's probably where I have most fond memories of him is Blackadder because I watched all of them like a lot. We actually had them on video, I think. So yeah, Rowan Atkinson, and he's I think what I find very funny about him is that he's a very, very clever man. So this character that he plays, Mr. Bean, who is I'd say, I wouldn't even say lovable idiot.
He's canonically an alien. He's
an
genuinely an alien that has fallen from space.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. I just sort of assumed he got hit on the head quite badly.
You know the intro bit where he like comes down in the beam of light
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense.
That's and
So I've glossed over that kid.
The choir in the background is singing in a different language, but I think they're talking about the man who is a bean or something like that. Can't remember for sure.
Well, there's way more bean lore than I expected.
Yeah, surprisingly.
But I hate the laugh track, and that is something I wanted to touch on straight away because it starts before the bloody episode starts. It opens
I just
on a
didn't
laugh.
notice there was a laugh track in it. I don't know how.
It's so grating.
Yeah.
They're annoying now. Like, if you get used to shows not having them, when you go back and watch ones that do, like the Big Bang Theory, which isn't a good show in my opinion, anyway.
No, it's definitely not.
But the fact that it has a laugh track just infuriates me because it's not fucking funny enough to have people laughing that hard.
Yeah, the laugh track tells you where you're supposed to laugh and that it's funny. But it's not most of the time. This
laugh track is so frustrating and grating because it just doesn't stop. It's not like there to be a helpful help. Remember to laugh, kids. It's like you're expecting to be pissing yourself the entire film through laughter.
Yeah.
No,
it's not that. I mean, I don't mind them like laugh tracks when something funny has happened, or even when a joke has happened, even if it's supposed to land or not. It's the fact that it's just all. Yeah. There's always someone laughing during this.
The problem is with Mr. Bean is if you only do it when something funny happens, it'll be dead silent.
Sorry, I took a drink. Oh my god, I nearly died. Okay.
I can't stand it.
So yeah, I really enjoyed pretty much the first scene. Like he goes and he buys a present for someone. And they've got to go and get it wrapped up or whatever. It's the lights, isn't it? He wants to check that they work.
Yeah, he wants the lights.
So he unplugs the lights.
And it unplugs. It unlights the whole building. Yeah. Like all the Christmas lights outside the building go off.
And he plugs them back in and they go on again. And it's fine.
And then when he's going to buy the things, he spots a little nativity setup and he just goes and starts playing with it. But yeah, this is by far my favourite scene. The just because it's just all the characters just coughing. He's like, shh. And then just brings in a fucking marching band.
Yeah, it escalates, doesn't it?
It is really
so funny.
Much.
My favourite bit of that is that he has all the sheep come along from the shepherd, which is great, and I'm like, that's really funny. And then a dog comes along and chases them, and then a sheep carrier truck.
It just reverses.
Comes along and he herds,
beep, beep.
And all the sheep get into the.
But it's just him picking them up, throwing them in, And then you get that lone sheep at the end. It's just like, meh.
And then some other. Jesus gets taken to Barbie's dream house. By the helicopter with a magnet.
I think one of my favorite bits is the there's a great bit where the Dalek comes in. I think this is the first time I'd ever seen a Dalek. I definitely hadn't watched any Doctor Who.
So that joke went over your head as a kid, but you were like,
I just found,
that's not
funny.
In the Nativity.
And then they'd there's the T-Rex and he makes them all fight, and there's the tank blowing stuff up.
Yeah, it is kind of cute and endearing the way you play, and I do like the fact that it just escalates so much, and then at the end, a police officer appears and he's like, but it's not Mr. Bean.
Yeah,
it's the cashier from the.
Yeah,
he's like.
It's the way he's just looking at his hands, like, wait, if that's not me, then what?
He's got to 20.
And he just jumps when he sees the guy. After this, he goes to meet up with his girlfriend, and they're looking in the window to a shop, and she really wants the ring, a nice ring.
It's not a nice ring; it's a hench ring. That is an enormous diamond.
Yeah, definitely not something Mr. Bean can afford, I'd say.
Because she's a bit... Because, Mr. Bean is... Obviously, he's an alien. That's a good way of getting around the fact that he is quite clearly, not all there.
I'm not 100% sure on the canon of who she is. The only other episode with her in that I remember is one where they go to the cinema together and they're watching a horror film and he's, shoving popcorn in his ears and stuff.
Okay.
I don't know too much about the girlfriend character.
Yeah, because no one has very much dialogue at all in this.
No.
But she when she speaks, she does speak normally. But there's just an awful lot of her sort of pointing and not saying things, and then he taps his nose in to be like, "Oh yeah, okay."
Yeah.
No, and she goes off all excited.
It's all sort of physical and facial expression sort of comedy instead of dialogue sort of stuff. Yeah.
And then he goes in and he goes into the shop. She sees him going in, so we're like, oh, okay.
You say comedy.
Yeah.
I don't find that bit particularly funny, but whatever.
No,
it's set up. It's not
set
payoff.
up. Yeah, set up for a joke that happens more towards the end. because next to the ring is like, there's all these rings, and then there's like the advertisement of like the woman getting a ring, and then he goes around the Salvation Army.
Yeah, so this is a very traditional thing in the UK. We have something called the Salvation Army, which obviously is not just us. That's a big, that's global. But one thing that they do is they have a band, because it's like a sort of pseudo-military kind of organization. They have a military band or a Sally Army band, and they often do fundraisers. And one of the most common things they do is carols for Christmas.
Yeah.
It used to be basically every church, like every village would have a Sally Army performance, and people would go and sing carols. I went to one like 2 years ago. They still happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just don't give any of their money to gay people because they're quite homophobic.
Hey, they don't just do that. They also don't believe that gay people should be helped and shouldn't get help during Christmas. But hey, that's not all of them. Officially, that's not all of them. That's just like higher ups.
Yeah, that's the issue, is that there's big problems higher up, but the on the ground Sally Army work is very good. They run in a very important homeless hostel in Birmingham.
They do.
So I actually have a lot of respect for them.
Yeah.
Sort of when it comes to the frontline stuff, I don't think they'd ever be like, you have to fill in this form that tells us that you're not gay before we'll give you food.
Yeah, they do.
Or a warm place to sleep, or a jumper, or whatever.
Yeah, they do great work. It's the higher ups that are the problem, and the sort of background systematic stuff of it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of issues when it comes to like, will they let someone who's actually openly gay move up in the system and actually get involved in other stuff. It's messy, but they do a banging band.
They do a solid military band.
And this is my favorite scene, actually.
Yeah, because
he gets the sorry. Go on.
At first he like takes the hat so he can walk around and try and get all the things, and he spots a kid that's been pickpocketing and just takes all the stuff that the kid's stolen. So there's like wallets, money, like a necklace and all sorts. And
like pearls.
Yeah,
that's important.
So he gives it to the conductor, and the conductor's like, I should probably go and put this in the car. And just gives him the little wavy stick that makes
a baton.
That's the one, yeah.
So I like this because it set up that he was trying to get money, like he was trying to steal money to go and buy a ring. Like that's where I thought this was going, and that he was going to take the charity bucket to go around pretending that he was getting the money for the Sally Army, and then nip into the shop and get a ring.
Yeah, that's what I assumed as well.
But he doesn't do that. He just gives it back to him.
Yeah. Because he probably doesn't think that he can do that.
It doesn't occur to him because he is very pure.
Yeah.
He's pretty thoughtless, but he isn't thoughtful in a bad way either. So he gets the baton.
And then accidentally learns that he can help control the music.
That's my favourite scene. That bit with him conducting and going slow and fast, and then waltzy and oompa. And then he has a little whisper in their ears, and then he comes back and does like a fantastic jazz conductor kind of thing, complete with the like expressions and all the trumpets like having solos and stuff, and it's really fun.
Yeah,
I really like that bit.
It's a nice bit of that. And then
it's a funny clip. Like I think that's what I used to watch. Actually, I didn't watch episodes of Mr. Bean. I used to watch like compilation clips of Mr. Bean.
Like this episode especially is essentially broke. Like most episodes are like it goes across like one sort of thing happening, but this is like several sort of scenes, like several small sketches sort of like stitched together essentially. So you can just watch the individual bits on their own, and it's still pretty good. Like,
yeah, the toy scene, this scene, the nativity scene, this scene, the turkey scene, which we'll get to in a bit, and I think that's it, isn't it? Those are like the three main.
Because this bit ends with him in the background. There's no more Christmas trees, and so in the background you see the giant Christmas tree in like the town centre, just like slowly falling over. And then him driving off with it.
It reminded me of a couple of Christmases. Well, I don't dare to think how many Christmases ago, because it was a pre-COVID Christmas. I went out for drinks with some people from work, I think, in the city centre, and we ended up in a Spoons. I think because it was the only place that was not totally hectic, because it wasn't actually a nearby Spoons.
Yeah.
And they had a Christmas tree that just kept on falling over. But I was sat quite far away from it, so just every now and then I'd see this Christmas tree just fall, and then a little while later I saw it just sort of walk off, and it turned like the staff had got sick of picking it up and decided to move it somewhere else. But because there were so many people in front of me, I couldn't see any of that, so I just saw like the top couple of feet of the tree moving around.
Was there at least a whooey whenever it fell?
Of course.
Yeah, as all the baubles smashed.
You know that a lot of people were sat there going, "Oh."
Oh yeah, no, I was definitely not the only person entertained by this.
Yeah, so then it starts like part 2, and he's only cut the top off of the tree anyway because he can't fit that whole thing in his small apartment, and he decorates it with the one bauble he bought and his lights.
And it's really fun. No, I'm so bitter about. I should explain why. I just don't like Mr.
Yeah.
Bean.
Yeah, go for it, because I really enjoyed this.
So you know how like everyone has the actor or a couple actors that they just can't stand no matter what they're in. Like mine is Rowan Atkinson. One of mine is Rowan Atkinson. Don't know why, just can't stand him.
Who's the other one? Is there like a common theme?
Rowan Atkinson, Steve Carell, Ben Stiller. Can't stand him. Don't know why. And SNL comedian. Everyone seems to love him. I just don't get it.
Is it Will Ferrell? Because I know you don't like him much, either.
It's Will Ferrell. I can't stand Will Ferrell.
Yeah, I can't stand Will Ferrell either, actually.
Will Ferrell he strikes me as shouting is funny, so I'm going to keep shouting. But yeah, no, just those group of factors that I just, whatever they're in, I'm like, I will not find this funny. And the worst
I don't like that Steve bloke either. Yeah. Steve Martin.
Yeah, don't really like him. But the worst time, I think the worst occurrence I've ever had of all of them being in the same film was Anchorman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which everyone fucking loved, so I had to watch it so many times. Because so many of my friends were like, it's the best film ever made. I'm like,
I think I've managed to avoid watching those films.
Oh, they're just painful.
Yeah, no, it's not really my kind of comedy either. But Mr. Bean is my kind of comedy, so
yeah,
that's what bothers me. Is Mr. Bean should be my kind of comedy. I love that kind of ridiculous,
silly slapstick sort of ridiculous comedy. Like,
do you like him? Do you like his characters in
Blackadder?
That's the one.
Yeah.
But no, I don't like him. I don't like him in Blackadder, but I like Blackadder.
Okay.
Like I will watch. That's worth watching because the rest of it's really good.
You know, it's called Blackadder because he's called Blackadder.
Yes.
He's in it a lot.
Yeah, no, I know, but I like the rest of it is funny.
He's just a big fan of Baldrick.
It's not funny.
Baldrick spin-off TV series.
But I think like a problem I have with Rowan Atkinson is, and it's weird.
Time Team? Sorry.
Theoretically, I like the stuff he does. I like his style of comedy. I like those kinds of ridiculous films and stuff. For some reason, when it's him, I can't stand it. You put anyone else in his place, I'll be like, that's funny. This is great. No, it's him. Fucking hate it.
Is it his weird face?
Maybe. I can't put my finger. Do you have any? Does either of you have any of those? Because I just sound like
Tom Cruise. I've been told about this before.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Mine's more recent. Pete Davidson.
No, that's also fair.
Who's that?
SNL
guy. I was so glad that he's the first one that gets his face shot off in the new Suicide Squad movie. I was like, finally, yes, I don't have to watch a whole movie with him in it. Thank fuck for that.
When I saw him in the castle, I was like,
he's real pasty looking.
Yeah, everyone seems to love him, and he just
a
fan personally.
I was going to use references, but I'm pretty sure you wouldn't get her. Newly married Ariana Grande probably wouldn't get
I don't keep up with her love life, actually.
It's like, no, you aren't like pop culture people, so I can't use.
There's like bits of pop culture. I'm not against pop culture. I just have the attention span of a gnat and don't follow it very closely.
Yeah, I have the opposite problem where it goes in and replaces more important stuff.
Replaces everything else.
Yeah.
So speaking of replacing, then, if you could replace Mr. Bean as a different actor, who do you think could be better then? Who would you enjoy more if it was?
I mean,
like Hugh Laurie?
Tilda Swinton? No.
Hugh Laurie is a pretty good call, actually.
Well,
No,
because he plays like, obviously he's in Blackadder. They all went to, was it Cambridge Lights or whatever together?
Yeah, it's like second generation Monty Python sort of stuff. But yeah, I think Hugh Laurie would have done really well.
Yeah, he does bumbling idiot to a T, which is weird because he also does House.
Yeah, imagine instead it's Rowan Atkinson as House.
The best.
You have
the best version of Sherlock. I can't get on with
Mr. Bean as Sherlock as well would be equally bad.
Yeah.
Ugh. A clue.
No. I don't get why that's funny. I just don't even as a kid, even as a small child when I was watching Mr. Bean, I'd be like, why am I watching this? I had like a full self-conscious, self-awareness moment where I was like, I have the power to turn this over. I can change the channel. even as a kid, I didn't understand why it was funny.
I must have liked it a lot because I remember, I don't remember like enjoying it, but I remember actively seeking it out. Or maybe there was just slim pickings
Yeah,
for what you could stream at the time because it was like what,
Yeah, there wasn't too much. There's something else which I'm now realizing I should choose for maybe next year, which is you know how every Christmas Wallace and Gromit just happens to be on?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Wallace and Gromit is great. We should do Wallace and Gromit sometime.
We should have done Wallace and Gromit, is what we're saying.
We'll do that another time. We'll add it to the list.
Which one? Or all of them?
All of them,
Normally just we can do all of them.
I love Curse of the Were Rabbit.
Curse of the Were Rabbit is great, and then there is only like
Wrong
4
Trousers.
episodes.
Wrong Trousers, top tier.
Wrong Trousers is great.
Top tier Wallace and Gromit.
A Grand Day Out where they go to the moon is like that's amazing.
That's the first one they did on like a shoestring budget.
Yeah.
The dog one, like when there's a robot dog.
Yeah, Close Shave.
Close Shave.
Because there's only like 4 episodes. I know. There's the Grand Day Out. Yep.
Why didn't we watch Wallace and Gromit?
Because I forgot.
A one that's a real Christmas classic for me, and I think for everyone, is obviously Great Escape and the better chicken-based version, Chicken Run.
No, Chicken Run's an Easter movie. It's got chickens in it.
But The Great Escape's a Christmas movie, so Chicken Run has to be a Christmas movie.
Is The Great Escape a Christmas movie, or a Christmas movie like Die Hard is a Christmas movie?
Yeah, is it just
No, it's a movie
set
that's
at
always
Christmas?
on at Christmas.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean, but it's one of those ones that's always on at Christmas.
Okay.
I mean, Chicken Run is an amazing film.
Like back in the good old days when we had 4 channels because we never got Channel 5 in Kent. Yeah, Great Escape would inevitably be on, and that was sort of the time where the parents fell asleep and the kids played with their toys. Like it was one of those films that was always on in Limbo Week.
Yes,
also known as Dan's birthday.
Yep.
Dogs.
So he's sitting there trying to find something to watch, and then there's a knock at the door, and he can hear carol singers. And he opens the door, and he moves his chair, and he sits there, and he listens to them sing the whole song, and then he stands up and just shuts the door on them. That is something I would probably have done.
I did as a kid.
Yeah.
Carol singing or shutting the door
No,
on Carol
shut
Singers?
the door on Carol Singers after they
I used
finished.
to go carol
Because
singing.
I was so painfully awkward as like a 12-year-old.
We used to be able to watch people when we went carol singing turn their lights out
Yeah.
in their front room before we got down the road.
I don't know why my parents would be like, you answer the door, when I was really young, and it was
Because
clearly
if they
Carol
answered the
Singers.
door, they'd probably get guilted into giving them money.
Well, no, because my mum yelled at me for not giving them money. My mum yelled at me for like not doing. She just went, "Did you just close the door?" And then I went, "Yeah." No, you have to give them something. I was like, "Oh, well, I didn't have it." I think.
My favourite thing that we got given once was a big box of Quality Streets, but they pretty much only had like caramel ones left. So we all sort of tucked into a caramel sweet, and then we had to try and sing a carol, and we just couldn't get anywhere.
Well, that was it. They were thinking ahead.
Yeah,
they were thinking for their neighbours.
Yeah.
I used to. I just realised how bad this is actually. Looking back, we used to go with when it was at its biggest, about 15, 20 people.
Christmas. When Christmas was
our carol singing event. There's carol singing that we always got invited to. We'd always just raise money for like a charity that someone picked. It would be like the NSPCC or someone, pretty like standard. And we'd sing all the classic carols, accompanied by probably not 1, not 2, but occasionally 3 accordions.
I understand why they gave you toffee.
Yeah, I was wondering what else they could give you. Like, here, kids, have a gobstopper.
But yeah, we used to go every year, and it wasn't great.
So Mr. Bean is putting the stuffing in his turkey, and he's got a fucking massive turkey, like it's huge, and he loses his watch in it. So of course he tries to climb inside and gets his head stuck in it. Yes, like in Friends, but this was before that episode of Friends. So then he's like, his girlfriend shows up and he's wandering around trying to like avoid her so she doesn't see that he's got the turkey stuck on his head.
Yeah, she does that sort of too excited to be there to look at him properly thing, which is like, oh, hi, come in.
And he's like
he's got literally got a red towel over his turkey head.
Yeah, and like hiding his head behind the fridge door and stuff like that. And then they just accidentally end up crossing paths, and she screams. And then she helps him get it off by, I think, tying a rope around it and a really heavy bit of metal and throwing it out the window.
They try a few other things first, don't they? That all look faintly sexual.
And then they just instead have a nice jam sandwich and give each other presents. And she gives him like a model ship that he can build, and he's like so excited. He's like, yeah, like starts opening it, and he's like, oh yeah, I should probably get your present, and gives her this like flat with like A4 size present, and she opens it, and it's the picture.
It's like it's clearly not a ring. Yeah.
It's the picture that was next to the ring that she was looking at, and he's like, look, it's got a flap so you can stand it up. And she's like really disappointed, and he's off trying to build his ship again. He's like, oh, I almost forgot the main bit. And he pulls out a ring box, and her eyes light up, and she opens it, and it's a hook to screw into the wall so she can hang the photo up. And so she leaves, and then we get to the end of the episode, which is, so earlier on he like pulled a cracker and was disappointed, so he dissected them all and made a massive cracker.
Crackers being the explodey kind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not biscuit things that you have cheese on. And so
other countries have explodey crackers, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I know that they don't have them in America, actually.
Yeah,
it's not really a thing
weird.
over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have Christmas crackers. It's like a tube of cardboard. You pull either end, it makes a bang.
And there's
And you
normally
get
a Christmas hat in it, a shit joke, and a small bit of plastic that you inevitably lose and stand on.
One time I got toenail clippers.
Yeah, if you get the ones from like M&S, you get real high tier shit. You
Yeah.
get like a magnifying glass, really small magnifying glass.
Yeah.
That like someone's mum goes, "Oh, I could use that,"
Yeah. Use it
and
to
they
do the
take it off you.
crossword.
and then keep it, and you're like, "You
Yeah.
still have got that?" Yeah, weird tangent.
Yeah.
Weird dad comedy, stand-up comedy routine I just did then.
Yeah. What's the deal with Christmas crackers, hey? I want to know.
So yeah, it ends with him, like, he pulls up his cracker and then it just shows the outside, and there's just a huge flash and a bang from inside of his apartment. And the episode ends.
I mean, everyone
salty
wanted
this
to do that with the
episode.
crackers, though. Like,
Yeah, everyone wanted to make the
I
giant
remember
Xmas
my
fun.
mum
I
did have
did
like
want-
some make your own crackers that she decided to do one year because she was so fed up of them being filled with rubbish. But then she forgot to actually put anything in them.
Well, no, they weren't filled with rubbish. Give her that.
No.
She'd taken the rubbish out and put it in the bin.
I did that thing once where you put all of the sticks together, the like unexploded popping bits, and pull them. It's how you start a very small fire.
Yeah, 'cause there's quite a lot of cardboard around them actually at that point, isn't there?
Quite a lot of cardboard, and at that point, it's quite a bright flash and a lot of heat.
Mm.
You can start a small.
What do you want for
fire.
Christmas? I want my eyebrows back.
What it does is it creates a small fire and a black mark on the ceiling.
Yeah. Don't do it near the Christmas tree if you've got a live one.
Yeah, or a plastic one.
Or a plastic one.
Or
Definitely
yeah,
not good.
anything.
They're all high
Just
fire
don't do it.
hazards. They're all
Like-
fire hazards, really.
Yeah.
I can tell you as a person, all it does is start a small fire. There's a bright flash and then a black mark on the ceiling that doesn't come out. And then what it also causes is an awkward conversation with whoever owns the house.
There was a scene that I think also used to resonate a little bit more than it does now because we have more TV channels and streaming services. But he's like flicking through the channels, and it's
Yeah.
all like violence, and he's like, ugh, yeah. Considering he was like hyped about a ship, he was like not into that at all.
Yeah, because when he gets his ship, he's like, look how many guns there are.
But I just remember, like, I think I kind of feel that way now when I'm like trying to find something to watch, and it's all just Real Housewives of ...
Yeah. Real Housewives of Mr. Bean.
He got me a picture. What a cunt.
Mr. Bean, but he's allowed to say cunt. That'll improve it a bit.
I'd watch that. But only
Yeah,
once
just
per
dropping
episode.
fat
Ah.
F-bombs.
Just once per episode, you're
Yeah.
allowed to say the word cunts.
I guess, what would you give this out of 10 then?
Do you want to ask first?
I'm imagining it'll be like a shit sandwich, so let's go for Helena first and I'll go last.
I would give this 5 Sally Army conductors wearing pearls out of 10, halfway. Like it's good, but it doesn't hold any nostalgia for me. Like I like the bits, but I hate the laugh track so much, and
Yeah.
it doesn't. It's so like loud and like poorly mixed in, or deliberately mixed really loudly to try and encourage people like Mikey to find it funny. But it grates me, and I find it really distracting. But I did really enjoy the jazz scene. The bits are great. It's a great clip show. I've got no time for the plot, and like the jokes with more setup. Like, nah, I'm good. Like they don't work for me. They fall a bit flat. I don't like his girlfriend. She's weird, because it's like, well, she's not an alien, so why is she acting this weird? They try to make her like a female Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make any sense if they're also like, but he's an alien.
Also,
So...
Mr. Bean is not a good person. Like, he's an arsehole.
Yeah, he's very
inconsiderate.
Self-centered. Like,
yeah. So
he has that, but it's like that childish self-centeredness where it's like he more just doesn't get that he has an impact on other people.
Yeah.
Again, that's like fine when it's explained away that he's an alien. But when you apply that to a person, you're like, that's just a bad person.
Yeah, I was today years old when I found out Mr. Bean was supposed to be an alien.
Yeah,
what about you,
Imagine
Mikey?
if I was just making up a load of shit, but I'm pretty sure it's an alien.
At Dan Faulkner.
The Dan Faulkner, if I'm an idiot that's got it wrong. If Mr. Bean isn't an alien, let me know.
He's just a bad person. Yeah, no, 2 out of 10. Because it's not the worst film we've talked about. Because
you hate it that much?
A special, yeah. It's so okay. Imagine a film with Tom Cruise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine
I hate it.
But imagine it's him trying to be funny for
he's
20
not
minutes.
Funny.
Then imagine that everyone that you seem to talk to goes, it's the most funny thing in the world. They're hilarious. What are you talking about? Imagine that for like 26 years.
Oh, you've had a hard life.
It's just, I don't
get that tiny violin out.
I don't get Rowan Atkinson. So yeah, no, 2. It is that bad. The only reason it's not 1 is because 1, as we all know. But yeah, no, I just can't. It's just not funny, and it feels like someone trying really hard to be funny to me, which is the worst.
Yeah, just from the nostalgia, and because I do find that kind of stupid like slapstick comedy quite funny. Like for me, it'd probably be like a 9. I just enjoy it. Like I find it funny, and
yeah definitely. Like that scene is worth. It's worth looking up on YouTube. Like Mr. Bean Christmas. Nativity
just
scene.
the nativity scene is like by far.
Or like Mr. Bean Christmas jazz scene, or Mr. Bean Christmas. I mean, the turkey scene's a bit whatever. But
the first half of it's definitely better than the second half. But I do like the sort of the weird payoff of he didn't get her a ring. It was just a picture.
I guess what frustrates me is that the joke is not funny enough for it to have taken that long for it to be told in a Mr. Bean episode.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like, because normally I'm pretty sure the episodes are about 25 minutes, but they're split into 2, so it's like about a 12-minute scene and another 12-minute scene. Like, this is probably one of the only sort of ones where it does have 2 parts. Fun fact, this aired on December 29th, 1992, the day before I was born. I've been Dan.
I've just about been Michael for this one. I've said like 3 things and they were all bad.
And I've been Helen. Rude.
Sorry.
Shut the fuck up, Dan.
Dan, come on, Dan.
And I've been Helena.
You can find.
Oh, come on! Guys.
We just don't want it to end. I'm having such a good time talking to you.
You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Hilton Pod. That's HILTM Pod. We're also on...
You're just doing Dan's bit.
We're also on Discord. I want it to end. We're also on Discord on our link tree that you can follow there. Sometimes we do fun stuff. Sometimes we just watch videos together. We find like weird stuff online to watch. It's fun. Come and chill. Have some good vibes.
Yeah, I'm going to start putting Mr. Bean episodes in the playlist.
I'm deleting them. You said that like I don't have power to get rid of them.
Yeah, good point.
Please leave us a review on your podcast app of choice. It means a lot to us.
Yeah.
And send us a message on Twitter. Let us know what you thought of Mr. Bean as a kid. And
also,
who would you replace him with? And
also, who your like annoying actors that you just can't watch stuff if they're in. Like, it doesn't matter how good it is. You're like, they're in it, can't watch it. Because I'm interested, really. Because I have like a deep hatred for certain actors. It causes rage. Ha